Hello and welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are back in the Undermountain for another session of The Forgotten Ones, our D&D 5th edition campaign. Take it away, our GM, GreatDinn.
Hey, hi, hello everybody. Welcome once again to The Forgotten Ones. As Spud said, this is a 5e game using the Dungeon of the Mad Mage module with a bit of a twist. Joining us as always, we have Newbiespud playing Usk of House Castellanter.
Hello there.
We have AvisEcho playing Yuliy.
Remember to tip your dragons.
We have DigoDragon playing Victor.
Dragons have been tipped last time.
We have Azure Mountain playing Lander Brightwood.
Yes, hello, I am charming.
And we have Space Jawa playing Jhank.
Intimidation. Hello in intimidation.
When last we left our adventurers, they had made it to the 5th floor of the Undermountain, gotten in touch with Wyllowwood, and through a combination of strategy, taunting, and some clever bargaining, managed to subdue the dragon Valdemar, who had been attempting to sort of wreck the entire place. During that time period, Yuliy happened to encounter Hallister, which was I don't think you've only sort of told one person, I think.
I think the information was spread to the group at large.
Okay.
No, I was pretty vocal when everyone came back.
Okay, I was like, I couldn't remember exactly who all you had told.
Everything was fine.
And the rest of us were all like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about
Everything
right.
is awesome.
No, it's not. It's never awesome.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Kind of had our most visceral reactions out of character, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fine.
So that is a thing that happened. But
Yep.
basically, the Valdemar was subdued without killing him, which is good. And you managed to speak with Bronwyn in such a way that she will help repair the damage done to the 5th floor and help sort of not re-educate, because that sounds way too brainwashy, but like help temper Valdemar's
Rehabilitate.
temper.
Oh wait, that's why she's on the 5th floor, because I told.
Yes.
And Bronwyn was there.
Mhm.
And she's like, oh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But following that, you are all invited to Willow's for a lovely Heroes Feast. So you all will be starting to dealing with all the bonuses for that for the next 24 hours in game.
What, that has gameplay effects?
It does.
Yes.
Because she cast the spell Heroes Feast.
Heroes Feast is awesome.
It's basically everyone who partakes of the feast gains several benefits. Cured of all diseases and poisoned, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throw with advantage. Also, all hit point maximums are increased by 2d10.
Huh.
So
Heroes Feast is kind of awesome. Once you learn it, you always use it.
yeah, to
Damn.
the point where I know it can be a problem.
That's
So, yeah.
I mean, if you have a hero's feast like every night, it stops losing its charm a bit, right?
Well, it also has a cost.
Yeah, it costs a gem encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold.
Ah.
Hence,
It's a high level spell.
yeah, it's a level 6 conjuration spell.
Well, we
But
did do
Willow
her a
knew
huge
it.
favor, so yeah.
Yeah, y'all definitely earned it, and Willow was happy to oblige. It seemed a fair and just reward. Additionally, some of you went digging for jewels with Hollyhock. That hasn't quite been finished, but we will take care of that later. I don't think anything that happens in it is going to come up aside from I'll skip ahead. There will be success. I'm not going to just like, you went digging for treasure and found nothing. That would be kind of a dick move on my part, because that wasn't what the whole digging for treasure was about. Yeah, so it is now morning. You are feeling refreshed and invigorated. And The only thing you are free to talk with Willow, and Hollyhock has informed you that she would like to fulfill her promise to her sword Yuliy and take it up to Waterdeep proper. So,
Well, I have a free way up now, if anyone's interested. It's
Yeah.
rather tedious, but it's free.
Oh,
Define tedious.
The stairs. The stairs that lead up
so-
to Waterdeep Castle.
Well,
By virtue of my family's influence, I now have papers to go in and out as I please with whoever I please.
well, that's helpful.
Yes, please do.
It's a bit of a climb, but
I want to say something real fast because I realize this is probably what Jawa was about to ask about. Jawa, I'm going to say at some point you were fetched for dinner.
Fetched him.
Because Bronwyn is staying away from Willow and dealing mostly with Valdemar, which means they're over near the river. So you
I will
will
fetch him.
you will be present.
Okay.
Oh, also, I'll probably start making smoke bombs for Usk if you want those.
nah,
Did not mean
No?
to do that.
not
Okay.
really. Not really the tools of my trade, if I'm being honest.
You don't want to use a smoke bomb to hide?
There is usually a corner. And
Yeah.
a smoke bomb will obscure my vision just as much as any enemies.
So I use a smoke bomb, hide, and then dash off.
But when I'm hiding, I'm
Alright.
usually lining up a shot.
Yeah, it would
And
take a
if
turn
I'm-
to set up.
And if I'm hiding in a non-combat situation, I'm not going to throw down an explosive that makes a loud noise.
You know,
Well, it could
if
just
you
be
are-
smoke.
If you are intent on making smoke bombs, I'm sure Jhank would be happy to find some excuse to use them.
They're
Honestly,
not like actual bombs. It's more like just smoke in
They-
a bottle.
they still,
The
in
idea
order
is
to be
appreciated.
effective, they have to
Yeah.
detonate a bit.
I'm
Release
just saying,
quickly.
if you're looking for an excuse to make smoke bombs, Jhank would be happy to
Give 'em to
take them
Jhank.
and find an excuse to use them.
Jhank will make
Basically,
better
I
use
got-
of them than I will.
I'm now proficient with the alchemy kit, and that's a thing that you can do with it, apparently. Over a long rest, you can create smoke bombs.
Probably a few other things you can make as well.
Yeah.
We can
Don't
discuss
foist
that.
your buyer's remorse upon me.
Well, I wanted
will-
my feet to have like actual things that made sense, and I feel like getting proficiency with the alchemy kit made more sense in character than like getting a new skill.
Fair.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
Spud may want nothing to do with your buyer's remorse. I am perfectly happy to exploit it.
Well,
So yeah, I
So-
don't need smoke bombs, and I don't really. I can't imagine the number of situations where I actually want them.
all right.
Man says no.
Moving on.
Please.
Oh,
Yuliy eats an apple, huh? Let's focus on that a bit.
where did the apple come from? Where is it going?
Don't worry about it.
Well, now I have to make something out of it because you told me not to.
What?
That's how this party works, all right?
Yeah.
I said, don't worry about it.
That
I don't-
persuasive argument.
I don't know. Maybe all the trees around here.
The
Maybe
trees that
maybe
just went into winter.
the food that was just conjured up by.
It's fine.
Willow.
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
It's just a regular apple. A
they're
regular
magic-
everyday apple you can find anywhere.
It's magic trees with magic winter. I mean, the fact that they have an apple is not going to surprise me.
How dare you imply that this magical realm does not follow some sort of logic? Alrighty. So yes, you do have that free method. You have the faster method, but costly method of trying to use the teleportation circles. And yeah, you're still sort of in level 5.
Yep.
So
We need to head back to Skullport and then from there to Waterdeep.
Mhm.
So I
Alrighty.
feel like it would be appreciated if we didn't go back just yet.
Why?
Wow, that's
What business do we have?
I mean, didn't Ulquist just want us to be gone for a while?
Ulquist doesn't
It's
want
only
to
been
see
like a day.
us.
I mean, you're not going back through the idea of the bargain with Ulquist is just that you do not impede on his business.
Yeah, we
All right.
just keep a wide berth from Xanathar Guild and its operations was the deal.
I think
Isn't it-
if we use our normal
Fact of the matter is we have working operations in Waterdeep, the lock being one of them.
I'll be honest, I did forget about Chester and Chestnut for a minute there.
Yeah. I was not suggesting going through, the goblin town on the 3rd floor or yeah. I was more suggesting your magical chests.
All right.
Okay. Did you want to make any pit stops in Skullport?
Well, I can't help but think that unless there is some reason specifically stated for Jhank needing to go up to Skullport with them, he would probably just go back to Blockwork.
You mean Waterdeep with us?
Well, yeah.
Skullport is where the locks are.
Yeah, Skull.
Right. Unless there's some, I mean, just from a character perspective, I imagine that unless there's some reason stated for him to go up to the top level, I mean, he doesn't have any specific reason he needs to go up there right now, so he'd just be happy to...
Refresh my memory why we're going back up.
Because
Yuliy.
wants out of the dungeon.
Yes,
Mhm.
okay.
And you were informed that all he needs to do is get up to Waterdeep for that to happen.
And a couple of us have contacts and things to do in Waterdeep in general.
I can buy more books.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think after this little major milestone, we could all use a little bit of fresh air.
It's been, I think it's been at least 2, maybe 3 days since you've been up. So
Well, for most of us anyway.
most of us. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Someone made a secret clandestine trip in the night.
That we don't know about, but
What?
could probably gather
What?
based
No,
on being told about the thing.
He flat out said he snuck up there in the middle of the night.
oh right, it was me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Making
I-
flashback references.
I thought someone else had in the previous night.
No.
Someone
We haven't-
ran away in the night.
We haven't gone over what I did last night, but it was probably either enchantment or reading the wall.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Well, none of y'all were in Skullport last night, so
But we could have been.
I suppose yes, you could have been.
So, okay, somehow I'm
Yeah.
getting mixed up. Now, Waterdeep is the city on top. Skullport is the underground city, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand Waterdeep sounds like it should be underground, but
And Skullport sounds like it's to be on the water.
I mean it is. It's just on
I mean,
the water under.
they're both water themed names, so
Mhm. I get it.
Waterdeep is called Waterdeep because the water around it is deep.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I mean that said,
And-
even if Jhank is going to focus on his lock work, if he's not going to if he's not specifically said to have a reason, I imagine him saying, "Oh, I mean, if you're going up top, I suppose you can take Crunchbite with you. It'll probably be better than just sitting around down here."
I mean, this is a wide open forest here.
Mm-hmm.
True enough. Sorry, I was just pulling up my shop list again so that I had it together,
Ah, yes. The list of shops.
which I still need to update.
While we're talking about it, Victor, don't you have like a friend in need up in Waterdeep that we need to take care of?
Possibly, if he hasn't been killed.
I don't think they would have killed him.
Yeah, I think that the gist we got
Probably.
from their visit to my place was that it's all in all likelihood the blood wasn't spilled in
the blood was
complete-
animal blood, not
Yeah.
his.
Yeah, so they've taken him hostage and left a message, but since we've got a break and still trying to figure out our next lead, now might be a really good time to figure that out. We can do some, now that we've refreshed the timer, we can do some legwork on that.
That was my idea, yep.
So, Jhank, we probably don't want to leave you behind in case things get violent.
In that case, Jhank will go with up top.
All right,
Jhank is also an excellent tracker.
that is true.
That's true,
Supposedly.
though that's in the wild, whereas I'm more the street guy.
Right.
But between the two of
nothing
us,
else, Jhank is good at fighting, so
it has been a couple of very dramatic days
Hmm.
in which we kind
Yeah.
of rediscovered a lot about ourselves.
And every new discovery means more fun stuff to look at in the city.
Mhm.
Yep. So, yeah, I think we've got plenty to do up in Waterdeep that it merits all of us going back and sticking together.
Yep.
So, shall we?
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity to pick up more stuff for the Stone of Galore. Eventually use.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that stupid rock.
The more knowledge we gain, the more knowledge it'll be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we brokered
Hope
a
so.
thing where it doesn't want to hurt us anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna.
Well-
It wasn't gonna hurt you exactly.
Just
It wasn't
consume your
going to hurt
soul and take over your body so it
you.
can gain more knowledge.
No, it was just going to mind control you to have you give it to someone else and then have you forget it existed.
Still pretty hurtful.
Yeah. It's not.
well, but how
okay.
does that work in a party of 5 people?
Very
Uh,
quickly.
Well, we have one person get rid of it. Or they have one person get rid of it and forget about it. And then when
Me-
other people ask, they'll be like, huh?
all it needs is one person to do it, because as soon as they're out of sight, I mean, for example, Jhank, you have had several moments where you were completely separated from the party,
Yep.
and any number of things could have happened.
And if we
Jhank
lose
also
the Stone
has-
of Galore, we kind of can't use the Stone of Galore to find out where it is.
Exactly.
Jhank is also hasn't used the stone this time go around, so
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's
I'm
mostly just been, I think 3 of us have used it.
Yeah, it's
Yuliy and
Yuliy, Usk, and
Usk.
I mean,
Lander.
haven't we also
Yuliy, Usk, Lander, and Yuliy.
haven't we also I
and
mean,
Lander.
used it when there's someone else present? Like we haven't used it in isolated
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah,
We've been very careful and deliberate about that, yes, because we
Yep.
need someone to decurse it.
mm-hmm.
Now
there are
that's
ways.
now Bronwyn's in charge of that, and she's probably more than capable of like handling
Feeding
that.
it for a while.
And
I am
and-
amused at the thought, though, of the stone trying to mind control her.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a distinct possibility of something that could happen.
I don't think Bronwyn's gonna like agitate it though.
You don't hoard curses without knowing how to deal with them.
Yeah,
is how I'm
exactly.
gonna phrase it.
She knows what she's doing.
Mhm.
This is far from her first rodeo. Oh, I can understand what you're saying in Sylvan now, Yuliy.
Mhm.
I know.
She sells
wow.
seashells by the seashore, huh?
Yep.
Well, what do you know?
to briefly speak with the audience at home about our upgrade to level 8, part of that was usual pronunciation's bit off. Get out of here. Din here, as his gracious GM, allowed us, justified by the fact that we are starting to like pick up our past lives and muscle memory and knowledge, allowed us to pick a feat along with our usual level 8 stuff. And for me, I picked up linguist for a boost to intelligence. I was already working with ciphers, and I remember that I actually know a few languages. Just this whole time, I imagine us been like, wait, could have sworn I know what that means, and now I remember I can know Draconic, Infernal, and Sylvan on top of Goblin.
I can speak with basically anyone in the party.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in private intelligence.
Now, part of the cool kids club who can speak Sylvan.
Yay.
Cool kids. Okay, sure.
I mean, yeah, we're not exactly kids. That's fair.
No,
Just go
Jhank,
with
I
it.
can't understand Abyssal. No.
It's not abyssal.
Or whatever that is.
Deep speech.
Deep speech, I see.
Yeah, I think everyone still has like one language that not everybody knows.
Mine is very common. It is Elven. No one speaks
Yeah.
Elven.
No one
Right.
no one in the party speaks Elven, yeah.
For some
Right.
reason, more people in the party speak Primordial than Elven.
My language that nobody else knows is Goblin.
Something nobody else knows? I don't think so.
I think you know Dwarvish.
Unless someone wants to correct me, I know 3 languages that are unique.
Deep speech. What are the other two?
Deep speech, abyssal, and undercommon.
Ah,
You got a bunch of languages from the things you hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. No one else speaks Dwarvish in the party, Victor.
Interesting.
I
did
think
not
the
know
only
that.
one who doesn't have a language that nobody speaks is Yuliy,
That
unfortunately.
is correct.
Okay.
Everyone can understand me.
That's a
That's it.
stretch, but okay.
but
Well,
each of
now
us,
I have a 4th language. It's called Yuliy.
actually, us can understand you all the time. Most of us can only understand you most of the time.
Well, us can understand me all of the time, but he needs to understand.
Yeah.
Said there is one other person in the temporary party who can speak Elvish. Hollyhock.
Oh. Right.
Hi.
Makes sense.
She's a wood elf.
Yeah, she elf. It'd be weird if she not weird, but I guess there would be like backstory reasons if she couldn't speak Elvish. And now I want to make that character. Damn it.
Same though.
I mean, it sounds like the
Yeah.
Hollyhawks came from like an elvish home and an elvish
Yeah.
place. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, sorry that bit of a detour about our level up stuff.
No worries. Sorry, my brain got stuck on calling them the Hollyhawks instead of the Holy Winds, which the fact that either works technically is really funny to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's plural Hollyhawks.
Yeah,
Technically.
technically speaking. All right. So, any pit stops in Skullport?
Nope.
I don't think so. I don't. We don't have a lot of like positive contacts in Skullport that need like.
A moment, no.
Yeah. And anything with the enchanting guy, that can be happened off screen. There's
Yeah.
nothing happening right now.
For the moment, yeah.
Oh, actually, one thought did occur to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm going to write down on a piece of parchment
Mhm.
spread the word. You can go up to Waterdeep temporarily for a period of a couple of days before disintegrating. And nail that to just a random wall or post out in the city.
I think the spot that would get you the most views is, or the most views sounds like. Hi, us, Skullport influencer here. There's Harold's Meat, Skull Square, and the marketplace, the Dark Harvest Market, all of which will have enough people wandering around that they could potentially read that.
I probably Skull
Assuming
Square.
they can read.
That'll be in common. People can read common.
To quote a great book from Skyrim, if you can't read, have someone else read it for you. Then it'll make more sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a Skull Square has a bunch of iron gibbets dangling from wooden masts that would be great places to hang parchment.
Yep.
And definitely not people.
Oh boy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna just throw that Molotov and walk away.
Alrighty.
Because I think that people in Skullport, especially with their overcrowding problem, deserve to know that, hey, you can, like, take a vacation real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can, if you have loved ones in Skullport, you can, like, visit them real quick again.
So this is making me wonder, of course, if the more you die, the more you forget. Because it's entirely possible.
It is. Sorry, I just had
we don't know enough yet.
I just had the very not dark exactly realization, but a whole city that is isolating themselves. Oh boy, that's topical.
That hit hard. Why?
I'm sorry, my brain
No,
just
you're
immediately
fine.
went, oh god.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm sure that the entirety of this stuff was thought up well before it would have become topical.
Yeah, how long ago did this campaign start?
Yeah,
this
2 years ago?
It started a year and a half ago. It started March of 2019.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. It's one of those just like, haha, this looks bad in the moment. Kind of things. All right.
So as a side note, for the trip between the
cities,
between the house and at the top of the stairs, Jhank will be wearing his circlet of human perfection, but he will maybe this would be something for a perception check to see if he spots that monk.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception, and Usk, roll persuasion. I want to see. Let me just get Usk's roll first, and I will let you know what you see, Sean.
I want to know who this monk is.
I want to deal with this too, actually.
I am severely interested at this point because you keep bringing it up.
Okay, with a 20, Usk, your note is actually in like the perfect spot. It's actually getting quite a lot of views.
A lot of views.
I know, I keep saying that.
It's the word for it.
It is being viewed, yeah.
Yes, it is the word for it. It's just that the current state of things has changed.
It's getting a lot of notice.
Is the word the bird though?
No, but a bird does notice the word.
That
Was
old
that bird
chestnut.
a druid?
Sure.
Under.
You were saying something, Digo?
Yeah, something completely dumb. Like underneath it, like sketch out a thumbs up and a thumbs down, and people will like put little hash marks underneath the ones you want.
Probably get more views than most of my stuff.
Do you want to go up to Waterdeep? And it's just yeses on the bottom that you pull.
Call this number.
With a 25, Jhank, you do in fact see that monk. She is currently Sitting in a corner of the Dark Harvest Market between two stalls, with a not a cap on the ground, but a small bowl that she's collecting coin in.
Now the question is, does Jhank do his own thing or let everyone else know?
Well, Jhank is going to wait for a moment where he can be confident that the monk won't notice, to do a brief point, not signifying anything, but more a take notice of her, remember her, so I can tell you about her later.
Okay.
You're trying to gesture, indicate us towards her.
Trying to make sure you all notice who she is, so you have a visual image of her.
What are they doing?
They're begging.
All right.
They're
John, why are you pointing to attention to that person on the floor?
With a
Jhank.
20 wisdom, really?
Jhank, what is...
How high was
So-
that DC?
You don't know which direction I'm rolls from.
so
That's fair.
let me describe the monk real fast. She's a bugbear, and she is wrapped in extremely sort of worn down loose clothing. It looks like if this is the stuff that she came back with, bad look on her. She died with basically nothing, which not the worst thing when you're a monk, I suppose. But clearly sort of hard pressed. She looks still quite strong, but sort of beaten down by Skullport in general and this whole situation to begin with.
Jhank, is this a person of interest for you?
Notice now, information will come later.
So we've all agreed that Jhank's
wanna
human
know
name is John K, right?
Well,
Say what?
I don't
would
think
prefer
anyone has
not.
No,
actually.
that's the first I've heard of this, so no.
Nah.
No, I don't think the name has an alternate name has actually come up at all.
I don't think you need an alternate name.
Well,
Personally.
he might if he's trying to avoid people picking up that he's Jhank.
How many people know that the lizard man's name is Jhank, Jhank?
Good point.
Mhm.
There are,
You weren't with anyone who called out your name.
that said, out of character, I have actually put thought into it. But
Fine, let's just go and you tell us about this monk problem.
Alrighty. So let me pull up. I guess I'll pull up the map of Waterdeep and let you discuss while you take the 1 hour trek up a spiral staircase.
Oh
Oh
boy.
boy. Does this count as a short rest?
No.
No.
What
Very
about
much
going
no.
down the stairs?
Also, still probably no.
All right.
Um,
Not that I need one anyway, but
No, I didn't.
all
I didn't
the
think
things
you
can
would.
do.
Let me make sure I pull up the right section of the city for you guys, because it's always something. Southwest? No, it is just west. Or what?
I've got the west and the east maps.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Sharing share sheet. You will all be coming out here. This is Castle Waterdeep. So yes, it is a in the north end of Skullport. You are able to find a small tunnel that leads up towards a staircase. It's actually hidden behind a building that is one of the few in like decent shape in Skullport. But most people don't really deal with it for reasons you are currently unsure of. Most people seem to just avoid it.
So as we start climbing and we're out of earshot of anyone else, I say, Jhank, what have you gotten yourself into with this whole monk job you keep talking about?
Okay, since while they're going up the stairs, first Jhank is going to remove the circlet so he goes back to his lizard form. Well, when we had that moment where you got yourself captured and everyone else surrendered, and I had to go elect our rescue party, I tried to recruit assistants by going to various places and saying if anybody seeing if I could recruit help. Anyway, in one of these places, she happened to be nearby and she came asking what was in it. And I said that I basically offered, hey, you can get what you collect while we're fighting, pick up that. Now, she said she was asking for a specific amount.
Yeah.
And I basically said, well, I said, well, if she was looking for a specific long story short, she
wanted a specific answer for money and you kept being vague. Am I getting that right?
She was looking for a specific amount. I didn't offer a specific amount, but given that she was begging, I said something about, she could go back to, waiting for people to take pity on her. So she decided to pick a fight with me.
Yeah,
so you were a jerk.
That would do it, Jhank.
So you were a jerk and this is justified.
She picked a fight with me. I did not pick a fight with her. Then when I ran,
you
and then when it was
insulted her.
Yeah, that was a provocation.
And then when it became clear that she was not interested, I went off. She pursues me, and then she attacks me, and she even goes so far as to threaten to kill me if I do not pay her. So then what was the name? So then after what was the name of that three-person party?
Rockham's Rogues.
Yes. Jacques. So then after I successfully recruit Jacques Rackham of Rackham's Rogues and his rogues, she shows up and she basically threatens to kill me if I do not pay her off. In effect, she is threatening to extort me. So I offer the rogues money if they will make the monk regret making that decision. But then, unfortunately, she runs off before we can finish her off.
Dear God, Jhank.
Take a huge offense to their honor being insulted, and I'm pretty sure you basically did that. I can't turn this story around to make you seem like the good guy now.
You kicked Noble Suffering Monk while she was down. And in your unique way, in that position, I would wonder if I myself would take out a blood vendetta against you in that situation.
I probably would have punched you, Jhank.
But would you have tried to kill me?
Let me think about that.
If I heard exactly what you said, I'll get back to you on that. Depends on how mad you made me, Jhank, but it sounds like you made her pretty mad.
When we get back to Skullport, I'm just going to pay her for her trouble. And politely ask that she drop the matter with you and take the money as an apology. Got it?
If you want to pay her off, that's your business.
Okay.
Can I let her punch you once?
No.
You deserve it, Jhank.
For what?
For being rude!
She already attacked me, hit me with a sucker punch, and tried to kill me. And she tried to extort me not to kill me. I think she's had enough.
Then just drop it.
Yeah, let's move on to less hostile conversation here, because this.
Yeah.
as amusing as it is, it's kind of losing its charm quickly.
Completely different and out of character. I just realized that the owner of Curios and Curioser's name is Ordinary Trash.
Yep.
And this
Sorry, I was muted, so I the thing I was saying did not come through. Jawa, there is one important thing that you didn't say about the confrontation, and I'm gonna say it out of character. Let me know if you want to say it in character. She did also basically turn, like, the reason you're disguising as a human is because she pointed out you have a lot of money.
I didn't see that. I forgot.
Yeah, she pointed that out to the busy marketplace.
Ooh, fun.
So, yeah, that's a little more than just trying to punch him.
And besides, the fact that I had to form a rescue party is because you got captured and everyone insisted on surrendering.
Still a horrible thing to do to someone who was that far down on their luck.
A chance to get money rather than waiting for someone to donate it to her. Actual work.
Yeah, but you wouldn't actually... I realize that was your first time hiring a mercenary, Jhank, but your terms were not that attractive.
Then maybe next time you shouldn't get captured and you can hire the mercenaries.
Maybe I will.
Maybe there won't be a next time.
That would be even better.
Let's try not to do that in the future.
Yes.
And while yes, that is the real fast. Yes, Curios and Curioser. The way his name is pronounced is Wedinar Tarash, but yes, it is spelled like ordinary trash.
Yeah. Which I find that to be excellent.
Thank you.
As a side note, I'm suddenly remembering a kind of a minor joke that I've thought of multiple times since that, where it's kind of a reverse thing where, the common joke about French and surrender, but here we are with a party where the French themed, the character with the French accent is the one person who didn't surrender.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a pleasant experience for me.
Yeah.
I was rather heartbroken by that whole sequence of events.
I apologize.
Just saying that to Jawa.
Anywho, so yes, it is. Is there any other topics of discussion during your hour-long trek?
I think that was it.
Okay. Awkward silence for the rest of the trip again.
Sounds about right.
I guess we could relay more of the things that we know to Hollyhock.
Also true, yeah. I got a little caught up in that. Forgot Hollyhock was with you for a moment.
It's not always like this, Holly. Let's talk about something else up front where everyone else isn't.
Do you like magic?
I am only somewhat familiar with magic, but I've liked what I've seen.
Well, all right. You see, I have a theory that I'm crafting. And then it turns into blah, 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 because no one understands it.
I think Hollyhock is going to finish that with 1 blink, 2 blinks, and then just say, neat!
Indeed. It is neat.
Too kind.
And that'll probably take an entire hour.
It probably will.
Knowing you, probably.
You have a lot of things to say and a lot of theories.
What's the gist of it, out of curiosity?
The way I sort of have written out the basis of it is that, like, I'm gonna be blunt. I'm pulling from like fate stuff here.
Of course.
Because of course I am. But like basically the idea is that like all magic is actually branching off from like a central focal point. And it's just the different magic casters are accessing it in different ways. And if you can, it's the unifying theory of magic, basically.
Gotcha.
And the idea is to eventually reach a point where anyone can cast anything.
The root.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
it's
you
the root.
will.
It is the root.
Getting to the root of the magic.
Because I am a nerd.
Yeah.
And I will
I should
include
watch
stuff
that
I
series
like.
at some point.
It's a fun little idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's one of those things of like D&D explores magic in a bunch of different ways, but it's never explored like why.
Yeah.
I
Why can
wanted-
certain things cast this but not this, and vice versa?
Yeah, like what is it that makes sorcerers able to cast spells that like learned types can't?
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach the end of the stairwell, you can see there are two sort of double doors, wooden types, that open up into a cellar. It is in fact a wine cellar, Yuliy.
Probably owned by someone.
Probably owned by whoever owns Castle Waterdeep, if I had to take a wild guess.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Fine.
the thing. I own it now.
Here's the thing. No.
Here's the thing. This isn't up for discussion.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's not up for discussion, Yuliy. It's not.
Hollyhock puts her hands on one of the casks of wine and then looks at Yuliy and goes, I think I could lift one of these.
okay, so here's the thing.
So me and
we
Hollyhock
not-
are gonna go back to Skullport for a couple days, back and forth. Don't worry about it.
Can we not piss off the Lords of Waterdeep? But when
Yeah,
I
that'd be a
just
good
got
thing to
this
not do.
entrance for free, I put a fair
But-
bit of talking and work into this one.
I mean, it belongs
but
to people
us-
who are. It belongs to people who are still alive.
I don't even drink.
But I do, so it's okay.
You've got
But you have
plenty.
Yeah.
You've got
always-
plenty of booze back home.
But us. There can always be more.
How
This
about
is
you finish what
exactly-
you have first?
This is exactly the kind of crap that got us into all that trouble down in the Undermountain in the first place.
Which
Waste of
time?
Yes. Just-
yes.
Just please rein it in.
Leans in Hollyhock's ear. Later.
A Hollyhock winks at you.
Roll perception to try and notice that.
Sure.
I don't think it really needs.
Yeah.
Yes, you noticed it.
It was not the most subtle thing on planet Earth.
No, Hollyhock is not subtle.
I'm not either, but I
No.
can bullshit it.
Anyway,
Right?
You can see there's another smaller stairwell leading up to sort of the out of the cellar and into the main wings of the castle. And pretty much as soon as those doors open, you see two guards with spears pointing them at you and giving each other like, "What the hell has just happened?" looks.
I reach into my my fancy coats, my fancy robes.
Mm.
I believe Victoro gave me something, right?
Yeah. You got some papers from Victoro.
Mage handed out.
No.
Real fast, both of the guards tense up even more as a voice whispers in their head.
Not their heads.
What? Hey, what?
Not them.
No.
Hollyhock.
Oh, Hollyhock said, sorry. You might need to, since I control a lot of different people, you might want to specify in the future.
You're right. Probably. I was already typing it before the guards came up, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry about that. They don't tense up. That didn't happen. One of the guards lowers the spear, takes a look at the paper, and you hear him let out a Castellaners, huh? Okay. We didn't see anything. Hands you the papers back, and they continue on their patrol.
Before
Very good.
they, so they're on patrol.
Yeah.
So wait, are these guards? We're still inside the building, right?
Yeah, we're
you're
still
inside Castle Waterdeep.
Yeah, we're inside the castle Waterdeep. Yeah.
Okay. Before they go very far, Jhank will just briefly follow them and try and get their attention.
Yeah, you can do that.
You may want to let your superiors know that they might want to consider having someone watching their wine supply. Some people might have interest in taking advantage of the open door inside.
No fun, police!
I
appreciate
keep that in mind, person who just walked out of our wine cellar.
Right?
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Jhank, but that actually makes my job harder too. Let's just go.
Mm-hmm.
I will inform Master Silverhand. And
Good.
Well, that sounds ominous.
That's exactly the kind of person I want scrutinizing my secret passages.
The two guards continue on their way.
Good job, Jhank. Let's just go.
Sorry, I'm looking at the stream and I always forget how weird everything looks from Deep Speech because it doesn't have a font.
Yeah. It's all scrambled.
MZ60 cube.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, yes. Castle Waterdeep is impressive, as one might expect from the court of the open lord of Waterdeep. The shining city on the sea. The place is a stark change from everything you've been dealing with lately, where there doesn't seem to be a speck of dust anywhere. But unlike the Castellaner home, which has a sort of not artificial feel to it, but a trying to think of the
more
correct.
Like not natural.
I wouldn't say it looks unnatural, but the Castellanter home does not feel welcoming to people who do not belong there. Nobody who lives there seems to mind it terribly. You don't get that feeling. The rest of you kind of felt like we shouldn't be here.
Were they ever at the Castellanter Manor?
Very
we broke
briefly.
down the door.
Oh, right.
To the gate.
Yeah,
that was like session 2 or 3. Yeah.
I'm easily imagining that Jhank usually gets the feeling of I'm not supposed to be here, but then goes in anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not inviting you over.
Yeah.
You'll go in anyway.
Not Castellaner. Castle Waterdeep feels homey, like it feels ancient, but welcoming to the people of the city, which for the time being includes you. The halls are peppered with guards, either patrolling or standing by. It seems just sort of basic security. They don't appear to be on any kind of high alerts or anything of the sort. And the guards seeing you come out of the cellar are the only ones who really demand the papers. Because y'all are you are presentable enough that nobody sort of questions it. Just wandering the halls. Is there anything you'd like to try and find in the castle or look around the castle while you have this opportunity? Or
do they have a library?
They do. In the east wing of the building, which you are passing through to sort of get out into the main
courtyard,
main exit, main quarter. Sorry. You see a grand set of double doors, oak, that open up into a marvelous library. It's floor to ceiling books, all sort of neatly organized. There are grand tables in this library. There appear to be people here in the castle that don't seem to be nobility or they seem to be here just to take access to the library. So it seems that even though this is it seems that this is being used for the public.
Nice.
There's probably a private library somewhere.
Yeah, almost definitely. But this public library is full of enough books that it would take you at least 2 days to read them all at your speed. For most people, it might take something more in the realm of years. But it's it is a sort of welcoming space. The librarian seems to be a rather large orc.
Nice. That is a fantastic metal image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has a tiny pair of pince-nez glasses, and he appears to be reading. I think I said that right.
Pince-nez?
Pince-nez, yeah. Sorry. I don't French.
This is probably the totally wrong mental image, but I'm thinking of Conan the Librarian.
Conan the Librarian is a good image.
That's outstanding.
It really is. But yes, there are several other rooms, obviously, as you pass through. The main courtyard is phenomenal to look at. There's huge sections that are just used as like vegetable gardens. There's one section that is being used to bloom some truly splendid wildflowers. And there's an open area that appears to be used for sport. Currently unoccupied, though.
Seems the
What-
people
what
here are
kind-
more fond of reading than activity.
It
I
might
like
be
it.
because it's winter and it's cold outside.
What kind of sport is it used for?
All sorts of sport. Of the foot variety, of the hand variety. Basically the Waterdeepian equivalents of like soccer and tag or touch football, things like that. Marathon type running.
Track and
Sprinting.
field.
Yeah, basically track and field type stuff. I'm not a sport, so like I hope you don't expect too much commentary from me, because the best I can give you is hooray for sport.
Sport exists.
Sport exists, and it's good.
Sport exists.
Yep.
And it's not faceball this time.
That was my attempt at a sport, at a fictional sport.
I loved the Calvin ball of faceball.
Yeah.
Good times.
But yes, as you sort of make your way around and through, you come to the entrance and exit into the main marketplace area, or not the main marketplace, but to the city proper. And the guards standing watch at the edge of that simply let you pass. You see them talking to people trying to be let in, but they don't have a particular care of people leaving.
Good
At
stuff.
least not that you can see.
As we're heading out,
Mhm.
I turn to Victor and say, this is your people, and you're carrying the artifact they desire into the lion's den, so I want to take your lead on this. But, well, I don't want
'Cause
to
we're
do
going to
anything
the
that would
church.
put your mission in danger, but it seems like the course of action is to find one of your religion's churches and start kicking some bushes and see what scurries out. Because at this point, the actual trail of our compatriot has probably gone cold. They're probably holding him in a secret safe house somewhere. So we kind of need to provoke them into making a move.
Okay. How do we?
Well, we're wanted by them, so we show up at one of their temples and cause a fuss.
Yeah.
A gentle fuss, but whoever they decide to send, Well, I mean, Yuliy could probably make a much larger fuss, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the sound of Yuliy being happy that we could just go in there and basically just be ourselves? Yuliy, do Yuliy. Jhank, do Jhank.
I am good at being a Jhank.
well, would that be offensive to you, given that this is your people and your religion that we're messing with?
Oh, my people had tried to get me to give the book back, and they're kind of holding a friend hostage.
He also kind of has a radically different outlook on the religion than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm
Are-
kind of a heretic in their eyes, so honestly, no, this isn't really going to be a problem to me.
So you want
Let's
to?
do this.
You ready to confront them head on and for the
Sure.
showdown?
Yeah, let's do it. I got no other plans.
Anything you think we should do to prepare? They obviously have some kind of hit squad. Is someone who they have people who can do, whether it's mercenaries or in house. They have someone who can do kidnappings and stage very unpleasant messages.
Well, if they come at us, let's just convince them not to.
Just be careful. They might try to convince us to surrender again. And
No,
I don't know what kind of
we'll convince
magic
them
they
not
have.
to.
Well, I mean, what kind of magic do they have? I don't know what kind of magic they use with their hit squads. Could be anything.
Well, could be.
So just be careful.
Well, I'm sure that they'll probably have like some manner of people watching out in the city, some kind of, information feelers out there. We don't have to confront them directly, but I thought that would be the most expedient and the most fun given our circumstances, the time we have, and the danger that your friend might be in.
Yeah, we got about 2 days. We might as well just kind of just hit this head on and see what happens. So let's go shake a tree.
And I also, I'm offering you the veto here because I know that the last time I came up with a clever plan, it didn't go so well.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, my plan this entire time has just been hiding. It hasn't been much of a plan.
What does your goddess think? Maybe you can ask her real quick what she thinks we should do.
Well, if you guys want to spare an hour, I can.
Certainly, we've got
Sure.
we'll have a bit of travel time.
I'll go
probably have
read
to
some books.
I'll have to flag down a carriage, I'm sure.
Okay. Then I will commune with my goddess.
Yuliy, what are you doing?
Attacking a tree.
Oh, okay.
Now, probably
Just
should
a
be
tree
attacking
in the middle.
in like the palace's like lawn.
Are we staying in the palace while he's doing this? Come on.
We're still outside the palace. We're like on their front door. That lawn has been curated. Those
worry
are
about
those are the royal palace's trees still.
Don't worry about it.
She's trying to shake some bushes.
One of the guards looks over. That tree's 100 years old,
I'm doing their gardening for them.
You
It's
are
a
an
half
actual
job.
child in the body of. I don't even know how old you're actually, because apparently you're ancient. I don't
Yeah.
know.
None of us know how old any of the other is.
To be
This-
fair,
This
it's
situation
kind of
is
debatable
so
how
weird.
old you are. It's kind of debatable how old you all are.
Yeah, I apparently was part of a bugbear tribe and took down a devil, so I could be any number of years old.
Could be 20, could be 1,000.
Who knows what could have happened? Perhaps in his fury, his final curse was to give you immortality.
I would
Been
be
real
fine with
dumb,
that.
but
It depends. If he's immortal and he's he's in a bad enough state, you may actually wish to die.
For
I
me,
mean,
being
I
immortal
don't think
just
any-
means
I don't think any curse could be worse than what we're already dealing with right now.
being
With
immortal
this
just
whole
means more time to
Undermountain
work on
thing.
my theory. Of course, the whole forgetting every time you die is
Very annoying.
troubling.
Troublesome.
That and the fact you can't leave. You can't
That
leave
too.
Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Those are the real curses.
But there is plenty to do here.
Mhm. The fact that you can't just say, screw it, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, Digo, let me know what you want in your what question you want to ask Shantae.
Let's see. Let me think here.
That's not training to keep everyone safe. That's just following your id into destruction.
You don't know what it is.
At this point, I've got a
I
good
don't know
grasp
how
of
to do
it.
the red text.
Well, I will basically ask her for advice on how to confront the church to track down a friend of mine that they have captured.
Hollyhock, are you trying to pickpocket?
No,
I
no.
make a performance of it.
I decided to use sleight of hand to represent card games.
Oh, I see.
In this particular case of Hollyhock bad at cards.
So who wants to play
It's
some
okay, I'm
some
just
Three Dragon
bad.
Ante? I clean
I
up.
feel like Three Dragon Ante is more of an intelligence thing.
You're not allowed
Or
to
wait.
play.
No, I'm
Shit.
really not allowed to play.
Let it go. Go sit over there.
I'm just gonna
Cheating?
I'm just gonna say real fast.
That's a really high roll. 20, 30. You got a nat 20 there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nat 20 on sleight of hand. I think you're using Three Dragon Ante to play 3-card Monty.
Yeah, somehow playing a shell game with my own hand.
This isn't cheating. You guys just all suck.
Yeah, no.
No one can prove a thing, but
Here I was going to play with Hollyhock. I didn't even invite either of you. Any of you?
I like games.
Yeah,
I
well,
play
I don't like any of you right now.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to roll
well,
sleight of hand
Arcana.
because it's my best skill.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, go away.
Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with you slicing at trees if you'd just waited until we were outside
well.
the gate.
Well, I mean, not even outside the gate. That's
All right,
still
fine.
like the immediate area around is still their land, and we're waiting around like Hillock Court and Waterdeep Way.
I will practice my medicine then.
Yes, you do that.
Once again, while
By
Victor is
patching up the
trying to
tree.
talk to an adult, the rest of us children are just causing a ruckus.
If Jhank is not playing the game, he will find a loose stick and play fetch with Crunchbite.
Crunchbite is good at fetch. Crunchbite is the best at fetch.
Hanging out in the causeway outside the castle. Just enjoying some fresh air in the winter.
This is. We've got one person studying, one person playing fetch with a dog, and 3 people playing games. Or 4 people playing games. This is just a college.
Yep. We are just on campus.
Yep.
All I need is someone to run by in a tank top with an upside down what's it called? I can't think of it. The flat brim cap or whatever, and throw a frisbee.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can remember that.
Okay. So specifically, you're just asking like, what is the best way to get the friend back? Correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Give me a few moments to write this down.
And in the meantime,
I'm going to intimidate a bird.
you roll a nat 20 to intimidate a bird. It is quite.
So
Somehow it gets a glimpse of the insane confluence and tangle of arcane power you've carried behind you in your entire life. And it
Formal Hout
flees.
possesses the bird.
I'm sorry. I'm standing in complete shock because I rolled a natural 0 both times.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I wonder if what I can do here.
Yuliy fails at cards.
Fall on your ass. That's what it looks like you could do.
I tried doing a push-up. I just
I
laid
didn't
down.
say I was good at cards, just that I wanted to play them.
Everyone's
Well,
just
I am
rolling.
also playing cards.
I don't want to play cards with you.
Well, then I'll play solitaire.
Okay, then.
I'll play cards with you.
Let's play chess.
No, you're not allowed
No.
to play cards.
No, just cards? Okay. How
Like-
about we roll dice?
Nah.
All right.
Welcome to our college AU of...
Got
Insight's a good poker skill.
Yeah.
So is deception. Maybe let's roll a little history.
To know what you're doing.
Yeah.
He's just rolling dice.
Yeah.
Yep.
The circlet of human perfection is roundish. I could use that as an impromptu. I could try using that as an impromptu frisbee.
Yeah, and then you could get teeth marks all over your crown.
Go ahead and do some acrobatics. Do a backflip off the tree.
Wow, you're
So
right.
is
This
Xena-
is a college campus.
Oh, man.
I just flashed back for a second there to some real dumb stuff.
Woo!
All right.
Man,
Let's focus here.
still waiting
Why start?
on Victor.
Yep.
I'm trying
Waiting
to
on
find the
that
right way
goddess.
to word things.
Yep.
Well, hey, I can do that too. Mm.
But yeah,
Xena,
I am actually in
Well,
favor
investigation.
of
There we
when we
go.
do if the plan is to kind of storm one of the temples and just cause a ruckus. I am absolutely in favor of silencing my normal objections and just letting you all go wild and let you guys be you.
Well, I would probably read all their tomes.
Without permission.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit here and let you guys have fun then. Actually, no, Usk has to do it.
What do I
Has
gotta
to
do?
sit there and let everyone else have their fun.
No, he's gotta do something. He's gotta be in charge of all of the ruckus. Go on, Usk. You can do it. I believe in you.
I mean, Usk has had his fair share of being the chaos.
Yeah, I've been the agent of chaos a few times.
You gotta be the loud agent of chaos.
I mean, there was that time he picked.
Come on, the one time where I'm trying to say, hey, you can go wild, Yuliy, you're gonna be like, no.
Yes,
She only wants to go wild if she's not supposed to.
exactly.
They won't like it.
Quite
It's
the
no fun if
contrary.
you're supposed
There
to
will
go
be
wild.
there will be a small army of people who will be, show up to express their disappointment. That's kind of the point. You want attention, you will get it. I'm giving you a free way. It's a free attention for you, Jim.
Nah.
Which reminds me of that.
All right, but you'll get wine after.
I can do that on my own, though.
It's a temple
Yeah.
in a fantasy world. I'm sure they've got some kind of ceremonial wine that you're not supposed to drink.
I have ceremonial wine, too.
Mhm.
I do. It's in my wine rack.
Yeah.
I'm-
No, I
How
know. I know
about-
better than to take your, any random statement as sarcasm initially.
All right, so I'm willing to offer you a bag of sand.
No.
Okay. All right. How about a python?
No.
Hmm.
Are you
Yeah,
just
the
gonna
solution
offer
to
me
my problem.
everything
The
that's-
solution was not to bribe Yuliy into doing this.
How about some dwarven beard decorations?
Are you seriously just offering me everything that's in your inventory? Is that what this has happened?
Nah.
Not everything, just the ones you can bear to part with.
Exactly. So it's stuff
Yeah.
that he doesn't want to part with.
Like, I don't really want to give you the crowbar because I
I
feel
have
like
a
you'll do
crowbar.
bad things with it. You should use it more often.
I don't want to. I have a grappling hook too,
Why?
because I bought it.
Use it.
No.
Okay. To be fair, I do still have that drow poison.
You know what I still have? Goblin rations.
Goblin rations.
Uh,
I mean, when the time comes, you'll step up for Victor's sake, right? That's all I'm really asking.
Hmm.
Like, I realize that you're having fun here, but I feel like acting like children is how we kind of got into this problem.
You're not wrong.
I'll be honest, a lot of this session has been very out of character.
A little bit. It's been a kind of a weird day, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having some silly time following a couple sessions of heavy duty stuff.
And
I had to have a good hour with Hallister. I need to vent with some chaos.
Yeah.
Let me have this.
I made the mistake of showing up wearing my serious pants today, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a problem.
Okay. All right, so I'm finally done, and what you guys were up to. Well, my goddess could not sense my friend within the city, so
Well,
if he's here, he's under some really good lockdown that she cannot find.
or he's just outside of the city.
Or he could be outside the city. It's probably the easier solution, you know.
Which we can't go.
It's been some
Mhm.
time, so they probably got bored and moved him off somewhere.
We're gonna need a stronger.
That said, the
stronger
people-
bargaining chip. Sorry, go on.
That's okay. That said, the people that apparently are involved with this are not completely allied with the church. So they might not have the information that we're looking for to find my friend, but they might not be able to really hinder us anyway. So I guess what I'm thinking here is just don't have to hold back, because we might not be punching people who are directly in line with the church anyway.
So they're
Okay.
assholes.
Well, I mean, that's independent of whether they're members of the church or not.
So the church itself doesn't necessarily have the information we're looking for. We're looking at a very radical sect of it.
Well, yes, that's basically what I believe is the point.
And we're going to need
if they
we're
are
gonna need
not
a way
really
to.
aligned, could we get the mainland members of the church to assist?
Not to help. That would risk letting them in too close and finding out that we're basically, trying to help a heretic fight against another group of radicals, and that's probably not going to go well. And also the fact that your goddess can't sense where he is kind of a big problem. I think we need a way to have them bring him out, and I think this might be time for a con.
Question: How would he be undetectable by being outside the city?
Well, they probably only searched the city.
Yeah, because when I was asking the question, I was kind of specific to the city. I didn't make a general question of, hey, where in the world is my friend, Eris? So
Also, what were those people's original terms? Was it to just bring them Victor?
yeah, I
Yep.
believe that was.
Well,
What if we bring
we
Victor?
need to make contact with them
I
and
am thinking the same thing.
and
just
convince
in
them to
Victor.
show up to a trade of sorts, I think. An exchange.
Offer Victor.
Victor and the book for his friend.
and then we take them both.
And then we take them both.
Or all three of them, rather.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think that's the plan. But first we need... They already know that I made contact with them, so if they make eyes on me, they'll probably try to make contact with me.
Do you want to use the circlet?
No, I think I want to get their attention, just to get this done quickly, but... Definitely want some backup. This time.
Define backup.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
sort of backup. Like all of us, one of us, two of us.
I'd
Type
say
of backup.
I'd say group stays with Victor to make sure he's out of sight and safe. Group comes with me to make contact and set terms.
Well, here's the question: what kind of presence do you want to give them?
Well, I'm a member of House Castellanter, and somewhat of a known quantity besides, I want to look dangerous, and not to be trifled with.
Was
I mean, there are other mercs who work with House Castellanter.
That is true. I kind of want to keep this in-house a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, you take somebody
I-
like Jhank or Yuliy, they're pretty intimidating people.
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
yeah.
did you see how I intimidated that bird?
So I know I sort of said it as a joke. I'm also going to just make it canon. Formal Hout has possessed that bird.
Yeah.
Who's Formal Hat
what has
again?
possessed the bird?
Oh, he's that great old one.
Yeah, the great old one.
He sees everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's a side effect of staring too deep into the abyss that is Lander.
Yeah, that's
Good job, Lander.
that was kind of why I thought that making eye contact with Lander would be intimidating under precise circumstances, stars aligning, that sort of thing. Because Lander's just got a lot behind him.
Very
his
apt
soul.
wording there with the stars.
Yep.
I chose my words. I'm a writer.
Yes. One thing that since we were taking care of this, one thing I need to also dive back into briefly is Hollyhock having sort of come up to Waterdeep for quote the first time is kind of marveling at everything. She finds the city incredibly different than anything she's used to, and she's kind of amazed at the sheer number of people living here.
Go
And
figure, I forgot she was with us again.
yeah, a little bit. I needed to take care of that first because it's kind of the main sort of plot line for the immediate future.
Yeah.
But you see after that, after a few moments of sort of admiring it, she pulls out the brilliant emerald sword that is Yuliy, and she says, well, I'm bad at goodbyes, so thanks for all your help. And she seems to sort of like pretty somberly set the sword on the ground, and a bunch of plants rise from between the rock and soil, completely envelop it, and pull it into the earth, and Yuliy is gone.
Okay.
Oh,
Huh.
What?
Okay.
It's
I
just
did not see that coming.
part of the earth now, or
She turns to you and goes, he's using some sort of magic spell, travel through plants or something like that. I don't really know. I'm not a wizard. That's a spell, Lander. Like it is a legitimate spell. I might not be using the right name, and Hollyhock probably isn't using the right name.
And I probably don't quite remember the right name because a lot of things in my head.
Yes. But she says he's using the plants to return to the place where he was forged. I don't know what he'll do there, but I'm sure he'll.
he's on his own mission now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of the Undermountain.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Makes sense in retrospect, I guess.
Yeah. I need a new sword now.
Yeah, that's going to be the next thing, isn't it?
We can absolutely arrange to get you
To get
rearmed.
something,
Because I mean, I do have these. Flexes both biceps. But I think I prefer cutting stuff.
Yeah, we
and
can.
scourge over.
That's
What?
a dagger, not a sword.
That's a dagger. Yeah.
It's a weapon.
It is a weapon.
Well, we can,
and
we've got money. There are shops, good weaponsmiths in town.
yeah.
We
For
can.
now, just until we get something.
I think for now she's probably fine.
Yeah, if we
Unless you
get
plan
into
on starting a fight immediately.
yeah, if we get into an altercation in the street, she's more than capable of fending off a mugger, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, all this shows
Yeah,
is that Yuliy likes Hollyhock a lot more than the rest of us.
What?
But think of how
I
much
mean,
better
yeah,
she'd
but-
be at fending off a mugger with a sword.
We're going to get
There's
her a
mugging.
sword. We're going to get her a sword.
It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
calm down, guys.
And I doubt a mugger would even approach us since there's 6 of us.
Yeah, there's
And a
There's 6 of
castellanter
you.
among you, yeah.
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 Most importantly, one of you is a castellanter.
6 of us, one of whom is a castellanter, and we also have a dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you know, a rather strapped armor, a very armored tiefling and a very strapped ranger lizard folk.
And
Yeah.
a rather buff wood elf.
Y'all are scary looking. Maybe Victor and Lander would get mugged, but that would also be a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
I'm not a
So-
person. I'm a wolf in disguise.
Honestly, if someone tried to mug me, I'd probably just charm them and take their money instead.
You could almost definitely do that. Which
I
is
love
fun.
that image.
We
Yeah.
need a list of
Lander
what
could
each
absolutely
party
Jedi
member
mind trick
tries
somebody.
to mug them.
It's just that one Asdiff movie bit of stop, this is a mugging. But I'm mugging you. Oh no!
You're getting mugged, kid. No, you're getting mugged. Oh, how the hell does this even work?
Yep, exactly.
Wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season, duck, wabbit.
Season fire. Anyways. So yes, what is the first step of your plan? You've got all of Waterdeep to work with and a good 24 to 48 hours to do stuff.
How about some of y'all go shopping with Hollyhock, and some of us go visit the nearest temple of Shantae.
Hi, friends.
Yeah.
All right. How are you going to split this up?
Well, what are we doing at the temple?
Setting up a
Hmm.
con to invite people to meet up. and make a
Basically,
king.
just being seen. Oh, Victor, you're gonna want to probably stay away and be probably in one of your animal forms for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that's no problem. Before I do that, though, here, I will take out my vestments and hand them over to Usk. Just because they probably want to know proof that you know me.
Oh yeah, definitely having proof.
So these vestments.
You
should
got
do.
like a necklace or something, right?
Well, I mean, I got that too. If you want that too.
No, just something that's unmistakably yours and not just another member of the faiths.
Yeah, I mean, either the vestments, the necklace. Take your pick.
Vestments will do.
Okay.
Well, if we want to go that way, it could be Victor, Yuliy, and Hollyhock going for the sword, and then Usk, Lander, and Jhank and Crunchbite going to get some attention.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Sure.
I
Okay.
could do some investigating.
Yeah, I'm thinking like actually whatever. Assuming there might be multiple churches of Shantae in Waterdeep, it's a very big city. The one that's closest to my safe house would probably be the one I check first.
Okay, the one closest to your safe house. Let me double check. I need to. It's not the west map. I believe yours is on the northwest map.
I think
Are
mine
there,
was
like-
on.
Are there two?
I think mine was on the west map.
Are there two churches?
There are at least 2. There are
Well,
several.
Then I'll go shopping with Hollyhock, and then you guys split up. Victor goes into like a spider form or something.
Wolf form would probably
so-
fit in better.
Yeah, I was gonna
Or
say
a
like
dog.
like a wolf dog or something.
Be a mastiff.
Something domesticated,
we-
yeah.
Are we splitting up in 3 directions instead of 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just two.
It's just
No,
that
3.
one of the groups is splitting off into 3.
No,
Well,
no.
that-
We don't have time
Why?
to check. We don't have time to check every single church. We go to the one that's most likely to draw the radicals' attention, and work there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sorry, I remembered where I have it on the map, and it's to the left of Saltarn Street. It's in Siren Lane.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I thought I recognized that block, surprisingly.
It's like here.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Not too far from the palace, actually.
nope. The market and the palace are pretty close.
I mean, it is Castle Ward after all.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that let me pull up the big old map of Waterdeep to make sure that I know how I want to do this.
I doubt they have
so
like every building labeled, but
yeah. The nearest nearest temple of Shantae is over in the trades ward near the river gate, on the sort of eastern side. It's actually pretty close to where you are. It's just I have to pull up the eastern map, or yeah, the eastern map. So let me pull that up, and it is actually going to be gun. Let me move down. It's my map is being finicky. It's actually a smaller church on the corner of River Street and I put a square around it. It's a sort of small church.
Mm-hmm.
The really big one in Waterdeep is up to the north near the fields. In the field ward, because Shantae, god of harvest, kind of how that works.
That makes a lot of sense.
That would be where the people most likely to worship her would be. Yeah.
Yeah. As for shopping, there's a lot of it everywhere, and there's a bunch of different places to get weaponry. There's the Sword Coast Acquisitioners Guild that will get get products that are not available in the city legally for a finder's fee. There's a series of blacksmiths all over the city. You might be able to get something out of Vahalia's ward house, which stores valuable or magical items. There's all sorts of sort of general stores. The big one being Aurora's Realms shop. There's one in every ward of Waterdeep except for the City of the Dead. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different possibilities. The big sort of the big sort of smiths that you get wind of are the Hailfire Armory in the North Ward, and where is it? I know
It's
I
in
wrote
the
it.
Dock Ward.
Yeah, Tangar's Blacksmith in the Dock Ward. So the north side and south side have the two most prominent sort of two most prominent smiths. Although there are tons of smaller ones in between. So
let's go north.
Go north? Okay, to the Hailfire Armory.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's start. I'm gonna roll a D4, and that will determine who we go with first. Okay. Let's start with the church. All right.
Okay.
As I said, it is a smaller church. It is basically a shrine that someone built a house around. Would be the simplest way to put it. Sorry, I closed that map for some reason. It's mostly for you can see that River Street, being near the gate, has a bunch of similar sort of small temples, all dedicated to a variety of gods. The largest one being to a god of travel, for hopefully obvious reasons. But the small temple of Shantae appears to have what could basically be described as like a farmer's market booth out front. The owner of this particular temple is apparently very happy to share whatever small harvest they have made. Yeah, as I said, it's very cozy and quaint.
Lovely. So I've got Jhank and Lander with me, right?
I believe so.
And Crunchbite.
And Crunchbite, yes.
Yes.
Your trained attack dog.
Mm-hmm. And as with anyone who approaches the temple, the dwarf behind the counter gives you a hearty hello. How are you doing this morning?
Doing quite well, thank you. But had a little trouble a couple days ago.
Or with what?
Well, hate to say it, but with I suspect a couple members of your faith.
The dwarf looks horrified at that thought.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't sound like he's in on it.
No, very much not. He sort of like leans heavily into the counter and like looks at you and goes, "Are you sure? I mean, we're a relatively peaceful faith. I don't know anyone who could do anything.
There's
you sure?
There's been no talk or gossip of anyone trying to get more radical.
Not in my neck of the woods. I mean, I don't get much chance to go up to the main temple in the North Ward, but I do visit every now and again, and didn't seem like anything of the sort was happening.
Well, if you don't know anything, that's fine. I'm just trying to follow some leads and get down to the bottom of little home invasion that was that my place was involved in.
Oh, well, if someone's doing that in the name of Shantae, I don't feel comfortable abiding by that. And you see him go into the house, pull out a little sign that says closed. And he walks out in what appear to be sort of druid vestments and says, the name's Dunbar, and I'll do anything I can to help out.
Oh, that's very
it's this
kind of you.
guy.
Wait, we know this guy?
Oh, he's one of the shop people.
No, it's just a guy with a similar name.
Oh, okay. Finbar was that guy's name. That's right.
Yeah.
The bar suffix is quite common in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He set a fairly low bar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that, if you don't know anything, then might take a trip up onto the main temple then and ask around there.
Possibly. Do you happen to know who it might be you're looking for? Well, we can. So obviously we can talk while we walk.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a carriage. We can ride there.
Oh, well, that'll make things much easier. It's quite a long walk when you're my size.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you understand why I don't go out there too often.
Naturally. Yeah, sorry, you're going to say something?
Oh, I was just, I do see a lot of people coming in through the river gate, so if you have a description, maybe I can help?
I'm afraid that we weren't seen, just they left some very telling markings at my place of work.
Caused a bit of a mess.
It's unfortunate. He sort of goes back to his stand for a brief moment and pulls out a small basket of fruit and hands it to you and says, I know it's not much, but possibly an apology for some people.
I hold absolutely none of it against Shantae or those who follow in the faith. From what I understand, this was the work of extreme radicals undergoing a schism of sorts, and I don't associate them in my mind with the faith of Shantae. Not that I'm a follower, but I know how these things go.
Well, I appreciate that, but just the same, and he pushes the basket of fruit on you.
Oh, I will absolutely take the fruit and even sample some of it.
It's very good, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, fresh grown fruit. Yes.
It seems odd because this is not exactly a green part of the city, so the fact that he's got such a fresh harvest is admirable.
This is quite fresh for this time of year.
Yes, well, you learn a few secrets when you work for Shantae. He chuckles at his own
I suppose you would
sort of joke.
You would. You do seem the type to know your way around the earth and its beings.
One would know such secrets. I suppose it would be you.
He nods and appreciates the compliments. And let me just roll something real fast.
I take a look around to see if anyone's watching us.
Actually, a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Mind, just roll some perception all around.
Sure,
Yes,
I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank
And
goodness
I'll
Jhank is actually decent at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's also also rolling for crunch bite.
Okay, makes sense.
Oh yeah, I have that owl.
You do.
They can roll perception.
They sure can.
We have all kinds of perception going on here.
So many pets. So many pets.
Oh goodness.
Oh, I think I need to add the owl back to the tracker. Let me go ahead and do that real fast.
To answer your question, Azure, yeah, I'm not mentioning the kidnapping just yet.
He's reasonable.
I'm assuming this guy's not in on it, and he's already distressed by this apparently.
So the owl got an 18.
Alrighty. So what you can see is all of you. Nothing is out of place, barring the usual sort of attention that Usk gets for walking around in his fineries. And Dunbar doesn't seem to quite process that you work for the Castle Lantern.
Honestly, that's a refreshing change of pace.
Like, a lot of the people on the street seem to understand it, but as far as Dunbar is concerned, you're just a really nicely dressed bugbear. So,
yeah.
Traveling.
I am.
Yeah, you are. He's just like completely miss anything related to who you might be working for.
Excellent.
And any whispering going on at the same time.
Well, I guess like anything that would stand out at this point is someone like, looking, like paying closer attention to us and not like trying to give us a wide berth.
Yeah. Not everyone's trying to give you a wide berth exactly. It's just, they're walking on eggshells is, I guess, the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah.
We are a scary bunch.
Yeah. I mean, I think even if you didn't work for the Castle Lanterns, the three of you would get some kind of like...
Yeah, half-elf, a bugbear, and a lizardfolk walk into a temple.
Yeah. With an attack dog and an owl.
The half-elf proceeds to read everything on the shelves.
All right, well, in that case, we will go ahead and get in our carriage to the main temple up north.
We will cut back to that after we deal with the others. So Yuliy, Hollyhock, and Victor have made their way to the Hailfire Armory. Let me pull up the North Ward, because I'm going to need to do that for both of you anyway. Map is so large.
It's very big.
Oh, okay. Here's this.
That is very large.
Yeah. I apologize. The Hailfire Armory is over in... Which one was it? It is this building right here on Solmore Street.
There we go.
Tiny square.
Between Brondar's Way, on Brondar's Way between Solmore Street and Hassanter Street. So many street names. It is very nice, actually. It is despite most smiths sort of having a naturally sort of dingy look. The owner of this place seems to take a very, very firm hand on keeping everything clean. And you can see there are armor displays sitting on the street itself, just outside of it. And there are apparently just people wailing on them with maces and swords and all sorts of weaponry, just as a demonstration of how damn good her armor is.
Sounds like a fun place.
Yes, it does.
Wow, yeah, this is absolutely up like everyone's alley. This is the kind of chaotic good that everyone's.
Mhm.
They appear, the people wailing on it appear to work for the armory, but they occasionally loan out weapons to people just passing by on the street to give it a go. The people who look like they live around here look like they freaking hate it.
I can imagine. After the first time, it's like cute. Second time, it's okay, ha 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 ha. Third time, you're like, please stop.
Despite how hardy everything looks, the armor is actually also extremely sleek. It's a lot of it looks like it could be sort of customized for even like events, just as like if you're going to visit Castle Waterdeep on business rather than for pleasure. Some of it is extremely highly polished with intricate details and some gold inlay and things of the sort. And currently at the anvil, hammering out a piece of metal, is a half elf who, again, despite all seeming traits, appears to be completely clean, free of like soot and ash, just solid. And her focus is intense on that piece of metal. So, what would the two of you like to do? Hollyhock is just busy. Hollyhock is just busy admiring everything because she's sort of awestruck by, again, everything happening in Waterdeep at once. As far as she's concerned, this hammering the armor thing out front is just normal.
Yeah.
She's going to be real disappointed with the next blacksmith she visits.
She sure is.
So, Holly, do you have any preferences, or are you good with anything?
Honestly, I think the bigger the better.
Awesome.
I mean, obviously I want something with a good balance and things along that line, but I mean, the last sword I was using, I was trying to kill a dragon with, so
we're talking like great sword or great axe and not like battle axe.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
The biggest weapon.
Yeah, we could do that too, but then I might have to fight her for it.
Great sword seller. I need your finest great swords.
You cannot handle my great sword.
So get the biggest weapon and then get an equally biggest weapon.
How can they both be the biggest?
By being the same size.
That means they're not the biggest, though. They're just bigger.
Bigger.
They can be co-biggest weapons.
Okay.
And then Yuliy and Hollyhock can be biggest weapon buddies.
So you have one sword that's the biggest, and then you split it in half, and you got two swords, but when you put them together, they're the biggest.
I want that weapon. Anyway. Heck, I had something I wanted to say in my head, and now I don't remember what it was. Heck.
Okay. While you are trying to figure out the best way to get this half-elf's attention, some of the Waterdeep Guard come by.
I have done nothing wrong.
They don't appear to be focusing on you. They appear to be focusing on the blacksmith. And the sort of more portly mustachioed one looks at her, lets out a long sigh, and says, "Tarja, you know you're not supposed to be doing this." And the half-elf pauses, looks up, spits, goes back to her work.
I like her.
And the constable gives a sigh, goes over to the people smashing the armor, and says, "Come on, you've gotten 3 noise complaints this morning. You can't keep doing this." And to which one of the workers goes, "Well, according to the money we've paid, yes, we can."
Ooh.
Ooh.
Woof.
Uh,
That's not how paying a ticket works.
Yes, it is, clearly.
that's what one of the other guards says. That's not how paying a ticket works. To
And
which
another person says, yes, it does.
no, to which the other person says, "We weren't talking about the tickets. We were talking about your salary."
That's not how the social
They got him
contract works.
After a few moments of just not admittedly the best back and forth, but the most stubborn back and forth you've probably seen in a little while.
It's entertaining, though.
The constable finally sort of points at Tarya and says, "I'm coming back in 15 minutes, and if this isn't cleaned up, someone's going to prison." And he strolls off, and it looks like he's going to go get more guards
Oh.
for if this is not cleaned up.
It's fine cleaned up. I don't see anything wrong with this, but anyway.
Tarya finally sort of finishes hammering out the weapon she was working on, and you see her toss it in the barrel of water to cool. And you see her gesture to the two, to the human and the elf bashing the armor, and says, "All right, just stop it for now. I'll talk with someone about this."
You know what she needs to do? She needs to set up a new shop down by where the explosives happen.
She as the two sort of like sigh and go back inside to perform other tasks, you can see they are a big reason that the shop maintains its cleanliness. Tarya Rowanwood looks at the 3 of you and says, "Well, you just here to stare, or you want to buy something?"
Both, because that looks like a lot of fun.
"Oh, you want to have a go at it before the cops come back?"
Maybe, but my friend here needs a new weapon, so we're gonna do that first.
"Okay. What sort of weapon you looking for?" And Hollyhock just sort of gestures to herself and says, "A big one, please."
The biggest.
Tarya rolls her eyes and says, "Ugh, simpletons. All right, let me check my stock." And
No one ever wants to go for the chakrams or anything fancy.
yeah. She as she sort of like
Paladin, Hollyhock's a simple fighter.
Yep.
Know what you want from us.
Kiss is a good philosophy when you are trying to kill monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Tarya starts looking over her weapons, checking out which one. You see her pull up different ones, sort of comparing size to Hollyhock. And while she's doing that, she says, "So, you adventurers, what's the sort of what sort of reason you have for needing this?"
Undermountain.
She pauses, turns, looks at the both of you, and raises an eyebrow. "Just the 2 of you and your dog, huh?"
Sometimes, but there's more of us. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And
you-
Hollyhock cheerfully adds, "It's okay, I live there." And Tarya takes a moment and goes, "Okay, let me see what I've got then." And you see her sort of open a chest and pull out a few more swords. before finally settling on a sword that looks more like a heft of just a sort of long, not thin exactly, but just a brick of metal,
Is it
basically.
a buster sword?
It's not a buster sword, but it's basically it's
A thin sheet of metal.
no, it's a thick sheet of metal because it's like a great sword used for smashing armor, not for just cutting through things.
Oh, so it's like a broadsword.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She gives it a few test swings, looks over it to make sure that it hasn't sort of gone through any degradation from sitting in the storage, and then sets it in front of Hollyhock and says, "All right, this is going to cost you 300 gold. I don't work for cheap, especially not with those pigs walking around." Hollyhock sort of looks at Yuliy and goes, "I don't have any money."
I have money, don't worry about it. Test it out first.
"May I?" Hollyhock says, and Tarja says, "Sure, go for it." And Hollyhock picks it up, gives it a few sort of test swings in the air, and Tarja says, No, try it out." Points to one of the armors.
As loud as you can.
Hollyhock looks around and smashes the entire thing down. Knocking over, like breaking the wooden stand that the armor's on. And Tarja goes, "Okay, 200. You'll get more use out of that than I will." And yeah, that is the going rate of the sword. She's knocked it down to 200.
Because Hollyhock went Hollyhock smash.
Yep.
Nice.
Tarja likes seeing her weapons used properly.
That's not a bad thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Hollyhock has nothing against it at all.
No, Hollyhock seems to like it.
Okay. What about getting a second thing just in case the first one goes kaput?
She looks at you. She looks at you and then says 300. You do not imply that Tarja Rowanwood's stuff goes kaput.
No, not kaput.
The dog puts its paws over its head.
Like if it got stolen or thrown into a dragon, or a dragon tore it from your hand. Not that it's bad, it's really good. Just, sometimes in battles, shit happens.
It does. In which case, you should have been better.
This is true.
I really like her.
Yuliy's like, I cannot argue with that logic.
I can't. It sounds logic.
Tarja gives Yuliy a look and says, "Look, I used to be an adventurer like you, okay? I get it. I really get it."
No one say it. No one say it.
Did you think of it?
But then she discovered she could make more money by being a blacksmith.
No, she discovered she can piss more people off by being a blacksmith.
I can't even say it without laughing.
To answer your question, no, she did not. She is, however, missing an ear that you can see now. She does, like, getting a closer look at her. Yeah, she's been through some stuff, but she,
Gotcha.
like, being a blacksmith is not a lesser job than being an adventurer.
Nope.
So-
What about something ranged just in case something's far away?
Now, see, that's reasonable.
Listen! Sometimes I do words bad.
Well, you should get better at
Sorry
that,
about my
too.
first language.
Well, if you want to survive in Waterdeep, you need to get better at that, too.
Finally, someone gets it.
Yeah, she takes a moment, and she sets down a crossbow in front of you. along with it's a heavy crossbow with a bunch of bolts. And says, unfortunately, I can't let you just pest this one. There's not exactly a good target.
I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a helmet from whatever was just smashed?
Yep.
I want to throw it up into the air. It's like, Holly, shoot!
Holly takes a moment, aims, and let's see. Dexterity is not exactly her best skill.
Good, because it's not mine either.
Let me roll this real fast. Huh. It's not a bad roll, actually.
What was it?
It's a 16.
That's pretty good.
Let me go ahead, and I'm going to have you roll strength. She shoots it out of the air. Since you rolled lower, that I was going to do it like that. If you had rolled higher, she was going to miss.
Woo!
And Hollyhock says, yeah, I think I like this too.
Awesome. So you got to be creative.
She, Tarya nods and says, all right. That one goes for 150. So you're looking at 450 gold total. You got it on you or you don't.
Mm-hmm. What's the conversion of platinum again?
It's 1 platinum is 10 gold.
Okay, so that's 45 platinum.
Correct.
Okay, 45 platinum.
Tarya looks up, takes it, pockets it, and says, well, this will help change some minds later.
Adds another 5. Even numbers, please.
Well, thank you for the tip.
He's an asshole, and you should be allowed to show off your stuff in the way it's supposed to be.
Well, to be fair, the only reason I'm showing it off like this is because it's making everyone else around here angry, and they've made me angry.
That's fair.
Yeah, people don't like a blacksmith being in this part of town, so they keep trying to have me moved. To which I give them a firm salute, and she flips them the bird. She just flips the street a general bird. You see a few people look at her and go, ugh.
I mean, they clearly don't appreciate the good you bring to this part of the neighborhood.
No, they don't.
And that's on them. I think you're wonderful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Miss...
Yuliy.
What's your name? Yuliy? Well, I hope you'll swing by again and tell me more about what you've done in the Undermountain. Provided, of course, you survive.
Absolutely.
She stretches...
She will have to bring her friends by later.
I am going to bring my friends by later. I'm going to tell all my friends about this place. I'm going to bring my friends by later. And those guards can suck it. Because I'm going to give you business.
Well, I appreciate it. And Tarya stretches out her hand for a handshake.
Shakes it firmly.
And Hollyhock will do the same. And you hear Hollyhock whisper under her breath, "You're everything I've wanted to be."
To who?
She's just saying it to herself, but she's again Hollyhock and not subtle.
Hollyhock wants to be Yuliy when she grows up.
Yes. So unless there's anything else y'all would want to do, Victor, did you want to maybe try and pick up anything while you were here?
It's got to be kind of difficult being a dog.
I know it's going to be kind of difficult with you being a dog, but...
Well, I mean, you could point at stuff that you want as a dog, and they can buy it for you, and then get the change back later.
Weapons aren't really that useful to me.
Fair.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing else, then let's dip back to the main temple, and I think we'll probably end it there after we're done with that. So,
All right.
The main temple to Shantae, brain stopped functioning for a moment. It's like, what is that god's name again? She's only very important to the plot.
There are a million in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, there's a lot. Her temple is actually this one near the Troll Gate. So let me link this. I have put a square on the map. It is a big temple and also part of the gate.
Oh.
Shantae, the Temple of Shantae did some real fine work on this to get this prime location.
Oh my.
Yuliy, if you want to do that, go ahead and roll. Would be a good roll. Roll Stealth.
Friends, the charisma.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No, you see, that's good because I wanted a lower roll. Your little stunt with the helmet has caused the guards to has caused the people of the street to point you out as a problem.
Because shooting a crossbow bolt into the air is dangerous.
In a crowded, populated area, yeah.
Shoot it though.
No, but you encouraged it.
Yep.
I did.
Mhm.
I mean, you're
I will
basically
own that one.
you're basically an accessory to chaos.
Basically, they were pointed out as a problem. They'll be taking views away, or damn it, I said views again. They'll be taking trouble away from Taria.
Yuliy shall be demonetized.
I mean, she is a tiefling. Demonetized. That
was a quick uptake on the pun there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I've had that pun in my backlog for a while. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use it for something else entirely. But
And you used it on me.
Yes,
I sure did. But basically, I was describing the temple. It's to the eastern, to the northwestern, bad with directions. It's in the troll yard. The sort of field to the left of it is being used to house animals. There's several gates. It's big enough to hold several carts worth of people and product. And it seems that the temple itself has several acolytes in various levels of vestment. That some more pragmatic than others. They appear to be the ones that deal with the animals or with the people passing through, and some appear to be more administrative. To the eastern part of the temple, there's open doorways that appear to be that lead to the shrines or to higher members of the clergy.
All right.
So it's a fairly nice place. Dunbar leads you in and sort of points out to the various people. The acolytes over there might know something. They might have seen someone pass by. But if it's someone related to, if it's someone who's really with the church, they might have had a talk with the high priest over here. Or possibly even have left something at the shrine for her. I might be able to tell if anything's been done like that, but maybe you should go talk with them.
Yeah, let me go talk with the high priest. Why not?
Okay. And Dunbar's going to go into the shrine, and as you sort of look into the room, you can see there are several piles of food in there. It appears that some amount from the harvest is dedicated to Shantae, and he appears to be looking for stuff that's not native to here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone is passing by, maybe they dropped something. The high priest's room that you are directed to from Dunbar is kind of messy. Actually, it smells a bit like a barn. There's actually hay on the ground, and while there is a desk, the priest isn't actually at it. You see him on the floor playing with a small piglet. He appears to be trying to get it to. It's like extremely young piglet, and he's trying to help it sort of get up and walk around. It looks like.
Pardon the interruption.
Apologies. And he sort of stands up, brushes off the hay, and you see him scoop up the little piglet and go to his desk where you see him pull a milk bottle from underneath.
This is adorable,
And,
honestly.
He begins feeding the piglet, and he says, "Sorry, this one was a runt of the litter, so I've been trying to help him sort of get big and strong."
I see. I have some business with the Church of Shantae, some unfortunate business indeed, and I was wondering if you might be of some assistance. That was a die roll.
Yep. He says, he nods and says, "Well, I hope we haven't done anything to upset House Castellanter, but I'll do my best."
As my understanding at the moment, I met with someone from your faith, and then in the intervening days, my understanding is some radicals from your faith staged a kidnapping and left a rather violent message at my place.
That is most unfortunate. What sort of message did they leave, if I might ask?
I forget the sorry, out of character. I forget the specifics of the message.
I don't think we wrote it down, unfortunately.
No.
Let me double check.
Left it in blood. Animal
Yeah.
blood made to look like a person.
The things I remember are, basically a warning about that you can't run forever. We know where you are, and it was left in animal blood, as well as a dagger was left with the Eris's amulet of Shantae.
Yeah. I relay all of that. That yeah, message can't hide forever, blood, dagger, amulet of Shantae. And
Jhank brings up the blood part.
yeah, and mentioning that the member of the faith I had spoken with is no longer to be seen.
That is most unfortunate. Did they have? You said they left an amulet of Shantae. Do you still happen to have it?
I think I gave that to Victor, and I didn't ask for that back.
Correct. Victor has it.
I left it with my people at House Castellanter for the moment. Is it important?
Well, it might be, but it was more just to see if perhaps what branch of faith this person might have, what branch of our faith this person might have been stolen from.
You could probably draw it.
You might be able to, yeah.
Because it's been less than a month since you saw it.
You can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month because of my keen mind feat.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just need to see if you can draw.
I can probably sketch on a parchment, yes.
I think you're probably better at that than most people would expect, because kind of part of your job.
Yeah, taking down. I could probably like sketch a likeness of him, honestly. But yeah, for the moment, I sketch out the pattern of the amulet.
Oh, I see. This Came from the east, I see. Oh, well. And you see him sort of pause, and he goes, I do remember 3 people stopping by from the east. Well, this person who was kidnapped, were they a dwarf or perhaps an Aasimar of some kind?
As I recall, he was a human, right?
He was a half elf.
Oh, all right. He was a half elf.
Oh, hey, I don't recall seeing him. So those 3 must be who you're looking for. I mean, at least there's a chance. I haven't seen them leave. At least not through this gate. But I do recall them coming by. They came to. Obviously, they came through this way and offered their prayers at the shrine. But I didn't think much of it at the time. They were distant travelers. Hmm.
So they've come a long way.
Yes, yes. This particular branch is far, far out to the east. A good month's travel by foot. Even in a carriage, it would be 3 weeks, given some of the rough terrain.
I see. That is useful information to know. Thank you. Now, obviously, I wouldn't expect you to have kept like close track of their movements and whereabouts. But,
no, unfortunately not.
But any patterns or any leads you might have would be very helpful.
I do recall them asking for recommendations as to perhaps a place to stay, and I told them of some lovely little areas near the market, but I don't know if they would have followed up on that. The other thing, I'm going to make another roll real fast. One moment. Unfortunate. He sort of shrugs and says, I'm sorry, I can't remember anymore. It just wasn't enough of something to register.
Well, please, descriptions. You said a dwarf and an Aasimar?
Yes, there was a dwarf and an Aasimar, and the person that seemed to be in charge of them was a
Gotta look it up real quick.
No, no, the man is just like, he is like actively trying, and he just sort of pauses and says, I can't recall. I feel like I could picture their face, but it's just sort of sliding out of my mind.
So probably some sort of glamour.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility.
Good to know.
If there's anything I can do to help, I would be more than happy to. If I happen to see them leave the city, I'll send for you. I assume at House Castellanter, or is there another location?
House Castellanter will do. If it's urgent, it will find its way to me and my safe house.
Very well, very well. I'm terribly sorry that someone from our faith has done this to you.
Yeah, I don't hold it against the faith itself. This seems like the actions of a radical few, and I've played enough in the machine of Waterdeep to know that that's just how it goes sometimes.
It's just very strange to me. I can't picture any part of our faith. Well, one part of our faith maybe, but they've long gone.
Anything will help. Please tell me more.
Oh no, it's the matter of that. The only part of our faith I could picture being sort of radical would be the is a part of our faith that was destroyed at least 3 decades ago. I can't imagine it being from them.
I mean, if some
So-
remnants survived.
Should I roll religion or history to see if I know about that?
Y'all don't need to roll either because Victor shared with you that thing, and the sect of the faith that was destroyed is the one that he got the book from.
Yeah.
And the priest looks at you and goes, based on what you've shown me, it wouldn't be from them. That is not their symbol.
Everything I've seen so far suggests that this has to do with some very deep grudge in the faith itself. So please tell me more about this destroyed sect and what it means to you.
Well, let me pull up my notes real fast just so I make sure I have the correct name, because I do not want to mess that up.
Yeah. Because
Emerald. Okay, it's the Emerald Enclave. That's correct. That's right. The sect that was destroyed was the Emerald Enclave. It was a sister branch of the church that formed during its creation when we first began to worship Shantae, and it was a frankly more militant section of the church. It was one that was considered harvest to be more than just the growth of grain and animals. It was one that thought, at least from my understanding, that harvest meant being able to protect said things and being willing to let things die as a part of the same
cycle of life,
cycle.
yeah.
And naturally, that's caused friction. And at one point, it must be 30 or 40 years ago, they decided that the main branch of the church, our branch of the church, was worshipping a false version of Shantae, and so they declared war. And while our faith is not one of violence, we are capable of defending ourselves, and the Emerald Enclave made many enemies outside of our faith, so it was fairly easy to overwhelm them. I am aware.
I see.
It's not exactly a part of our faith that many examine thoroughly for what I hope are obvious reasons.
I'm not going to be one to spread it around, and frankly, I have no trouble extrapolating that every church has this sort of history.
Yes, it is.
Any organization with a long history has such problems.
Yes, I suppose you are right.
But I don't mean to be a downer. Thank you so much. Where did you recommend they go looking for lodging?
Well, there are the Sahuagin humbled, you know that statue, right? The living statue of Waterdeep. There's a lovely little inn at the bottom of it, and this is the same inn that y'all went to when you met up with Eris and he gave you the other half of the platinum. There's also a lovely little one near the God Catcher statue, and there's, well, I probably shouldn't be one to recommend it, but the Yawning Portal does have actually a lovely little staying area if you happen to enjoy body tales and fine drink every now and again. And he looks kind of embarrassed to be saying that. Like, I probably shouldn't be admitting that I go there a lot, but I do.
Noted. Did they give an indication of where they seem most likely to seem most interested in?
No, unfortunately not.
We'll just have to do the legwork then. Thank you so much. If you see them come through your gates or conduct any other activity, I would ask you to send an urgent message to House Castellanter, addressed to Usk of House Castellanter.
Yes, I
And
will.
It will find its way to me.
I will most certainly do that. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for the priest?
No.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
All right. Dunbar comes out of the shrine and he says, okay, guys, two things. First, found an animal that's not supposed to be in there. Looks freshly slaughtered. So, well, not freshly slaughtered, but preserved at least.
Excuse me?
Yes, it's a wolf. Not exactly a farm animal, but one that we occasionally sacrifice, but none around here. So, did you relay that you had a message written in blood to Dunbar?
Nope.
Okay.
We
No.
didn't tell him anything about
Yeah,
the kidnapping.
that's
Told the high priest, didn't tell Dunbar.
That's what I figured. So Dunbar says, if those guys came from out of town, that's almost certainly what they brought. It's he sort of points it out, and you can see like hidden just behind like the sort of piles of stuff, there is a salted wolf carcass.
Yikes.
Like,
Okay,
Oh.
is it at all within the realm of possibility that if Jhank were to examine the wolf, he might be able to tell if that's the animal the message blood came from?
So would that be nature or medicine? Or animal handling?
it's not animal handling at this point, it's jerky handling.
Yeah.
And
I would say,
if they bled it to make the message, it's probably not going to have much left.
yeah, no, this.
You're right. And it probably is also just common practice to bleed animals that you make meat out of.
Yeah, you don't. I mean,
So
there are recipes that use it, but I mean, if you're just for preserving meat, you don't, or you do. But yeah, you could still probably make a nature roll, both of you, to figure that out. Neither's quite good enough.
yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, you get the distinct feeling that it was a mix of animals, like not just the wolf, but like that is the, Dunbar might not notice a pig or a cow in there, but a wolf is going to stick out to him.
This is an animal from out of town that was sacrificed in the rituals of Shantae, so
Yeah,
that stands out.
yeah. And he says, and the other thing I noticed was this. And he hands you a note, Usk.
I take the note and read it.
All right, let me just whisper it to you real fast.
Jhank look over.
Figured they might have eyes here.
Can Jhank look over Usk's shoulder?
Yeah, I'm
to
not
read the
gonna
note?
keep it a secret. You're my party members.
Yeah.
You might as well just put it in the chat.
I mean, it's fun to have things whispered to you that you can read
Yeah.
out. That's kind of
fair.
the function. But I'm not gonna read it out.
Jhank's just being curious.
I understand. Just, let's preserve some of the fun of this. In this, limited text-based semi-visual medium we've got here.
On some level, the idea of Jhank trying to peek over Usk's shoulder was kind of based on fun.
Yeah.
I thought about having the owl perch on your shoulder. But
We're all gonna gather around Usk and peek at what he's reading.
Aren't I like kind of tall?
Yes, you are very tall.
Cannot hide behind your bugbear bodyguard forever, Victor. Shantae's eyes are all-seeing and you are poor at hiding.
And the ink is fresh.
Can I check? Can I check to see what kind of blood it is?
It's not blood; it's just ink.
I hand over the note to Jhank and then step into the middle of the grand hall and say, "I've got who." I say it loudly enough to have my voice echo. "I've got who you're looking for. If you want him, we should talk. You know where to find me, clearly." And I walk out of the temple.
Alrighty.
Jhank is going to fall out. He's going to be holding the note high in the air above him as he goes out.
So, Dunbar, where'd you get that note?
It was in the wolf.
Dunbar's the dwarf.
I know I'm not there, but why were you rooting around at the wolf?
Because the wolf was open. It's not like...
It wasn't like Pinata.
No. It's like... I'm deliberately not describing it very thoroughly because, like, preserving
gross,
a whole
yeah.
body is kind of gross. But, like, you open that crap up. The note was just sort of sitting in the chest cavity.
Well, I mean, if the head is there, you could stick the note inside the wolf's mouth.
The head is not there.
Oh.
Like, this is someone caught, killed, skinned a wolf, and then preserved the entire body. So,
Well
yeah.
then.
Oh, and so the game of cat and mouse continues.
Yes.
And on that bombshell,
Yes, and right now we are the mice who are squeaking as loud as can be.
Well, it's like
Mice just yelling at cats. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
that's kind of what we're doing here.
yeah.
Yeah, the mating dance of the spy. We both want to make contact with each other on our terms, and it's just a matter of when we're actually going to do it. Ah, delightful. Well, if they're not going to come out and meet us right away, then I guess we'll go ahead and check out the places that the High Priest mentioned.
I guess we'll save that for next time, given the current time frame.
Yep.
So
Seems like a good place to stop.
Seems like a great place to stop.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this.
I am too.
I do love me just a good old fashioned spy game con.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone who's watched me play RPGs at this point knows that very well about me. All right. Well, in that case, thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. We aim to livestream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with the next session of Shadow Trot.